From the year 2000 to the year 2009, Israel went through a decade that was the worst decade in the history of Israel, and that's saying something. Those of us who lived there lived through hell. A tremendous wave of suicide bombings in the cities, to the point where it became a natural matter to try to figure out, well, we should go to this mall instead of that mall because this mall was bombed yesterday, so maybe it has better security than the one that hasn't been bombed yet. Insane conversations that take a tremendous toll and wind up giving an entire population some form of post-traumatic stress. An entire society remaking itself. A society in which everybody lost their basic dream. Because while the people on the left were losing the dream of land for peace and the rockets that came over after Gaza, the people on the right lost their dream as well. The right is as broken as the left. There is no more greater Israel, just as there's no more land for peace. Everyone there is an ideological orphan. And after 10 years of hell, people are tired. That Time magazine article that said, why don't Israelis want peace? Well, if you read the article, first of all, you realize that the title was, a little yellow, as we say in the journalistic trade, a bit tabloidy, and let's sell magazines because the article doesn't have anything to do with this. And the article had other problems, anti-Semitism and so forth, but that's not my business. But one thing came through in that article, even so, which is this. Israelis need a rest. You cannot put people through 2 wars and waves of suicide bombing and the end of their ideological dreams and the changing of their map and not expect something to break. But if you look at the end of that decade, when presumably the right wing triumphed over everything else, you realize the right is as broken as everything else. Not only is it broken, it's not even right anymore. Because if you look at the Knesset and you examine it statistically, and you just start counting how many members of Knesset represent parties who have spoken publicly of a future solution in which the Holy Land is divided between a Palestinian state and an Israeli state, out of 120 members of Knesset, you know how many representatives come from those parties? 97.